Yes, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please, come on everybody, like and subscribe. It really, really helps, you know. It really does. Ooh, bang the mic then. Here we go. Yeah, I'm talking today about Tommy Robinson in HMP Woodhill, and there's been complaints from his representatives to the governor suggesting that Tommy Robinson being held in segregation is an offence against his human rights, and that it's actually causing him great psychological harm. Well, let me discuss that. And don't forget your comments. I do like your comments, you know. If you're going to make comments, make them down below. Tell me what you think. Have an opinion. Tell me here. I will respond if it's possible for me to do so. I'll do so as quickly as I can as well. Also, but now we've got an issue here. You see, the governor has got a problem. Tommy Robinson is a target. He is a target for those people of certain ethnic minority groups, so it would seem, who hold certain religious beliefs and are what we might term as being radicalised. That is, that they have got extremist kind of views and believe that Mr. Yaxley Lennon, I believe his real name is, Stephen Yaxley Lennon, I believe that's his name, is in fact against them and believes that they are detrimental to the well-being of the British society. And that seems to be the message that Tommy Robinson, aka Yaxley Lennon, is promoting, and therefore, because that goes against their somewhat extreme views, they intend to actually injure him, if that's possible. And it seems to be possible, because that's the prison. Numerous times people get assaulted, shanked, stabbed, slashed. And the one thing that Tommy Robinson apparently, according to his representatives, who submitted in writing a letter complaining to the governor about his segregation, but they're also complaining that he believed that his food was being adulterated. Well, I would say this, you know, I mean, I've been there and seen it happen, and it's disgraceful, but unless you like your soup laced with piss, I wouldn't go in there, you know. This isn't the Ritz, you know. He's in HMP Woodhill, and it's one of the most notorious prisons in Britain at the moment. It's certainly got the highest suicide rate, and there is violence, and staff have been accused of actually assaulting inmates, and I can understand why Tommy Robinson is concerned, and his representatives are making quite formal complaint to the governor. But look at it this way: if Tommy Robinson is in segregation, he's there for a purpose. He isn't there for punishment. He's there to prevent the people on the radicalised units, the people who have got an axe to grind against Tommy Robinson, from attacking him. He is safe within the segregation unit. And I don't believe that the staff are going to be completely against the preachings and teachings and the rather extreme rhetoric of Mr. Robinson. I don't believe that they will be. My experience of the staff in HM prisons is that they are slightly to the right of Himmler. Well, certainly at Strangeways they were. There was a great number of them members of what's known as the National Front, what was known as the National Front, which was an extreme right, pseudo-fascist, pretend political movement from the 1970s and 80s. that was preaching about the purity of the race and how the bloodlines were being diluted and destroyed by the migrants coming from various countries. And basically it was a white power organisation. I can't say that Tommy Robinson is doing that, but certainly there is that faint odour of white extremism around what he's saying. I mean, I haven't listened to it. I haven't been to any of his rallies or read any of his works. I've seen some of his broadcasts, and I have to say that they don't quite fit in with my personal beliefs. But then again, what we're on here is not my personal beliefs. We're talking about what's happening to Tommy Robinson in HMP Woodhill, and I believe he's in segregation for his own protection. Now, there is another way that Tommy Robinson could go about this. He is at liberty to apply to the governor to be held in prison on Rule 43A. That's application of the inmate to be held in protected conditions because they fear for their safety. Obviously, I can see that Tommy Robinson, being the man he obviously is, I don't know him, but having seen him, he seems like a guy who wants to stand up for himself. The only problem is you can't do that too well when you've got a shank in your back. And that is quite what possibly could happen to him, and the governor is protecting him against that. But we've got the representatives of Tommy Robinson writing in, complaining about the protection that's being given to him, and that's why he's on segregation, because his life and his well-being is at threat from certain radicalised groups within the prison. He could go down the Rule 43A route, which is to apply for protection in the prison, but usually that is used by sex offenders, what are colloquially termed in the prisons as nonces. And I am pretty damn certain that Tommy Robinson doesn't want to spend his time in prison sharing cells with sex offenders. That would definitely not sit too well with the young man, because he does appear to me to be a straightforward family kind of guy who's got children of his own, and he would find the company extremely offensive. So he's in between a rock and a hard place, is Tommy Robinson. Where does he go from here? Well, he thinks he can get transferred to a Category C prison. I believe, well, Woodhill is Category B. He believes he could get transferred to a Category C, but even in a Category C prison, he's going to meet the same problems. So what does he do? Well, I believe as long as he's in the hands of the Home Office, hands of the prison department, he is going to remain segregated from the general population and not placed on the open wings, because so to do would endanger his life, due to the fact that his teachings, preachings, and his overtly extreme, I believe slightly extreme rhetoric are offending certain radical groups that are currently the predominant force in many of our prisons. And it's that time of day, folks. Yes, here we go. And that was my little rant for today. Do please like and subscribe and give me your comments. Come on. Oh, and by the way, all the people who say I've got something against, what's his name, Paul Sykes, not at all. I'm just reporting what I know of him. He's a horrible, nasty man, and there were numerous stories and complaints about him in the prisons molesting younger vulnerable inmates. And by molesting, I mean bending them over the beds, ripping off the shreddies and buggering them up the backside. This is for Scott Bartram. He asked me to sing a song by the boss, Bruce Springsteen. So one of the ones by Bruce Springsteen I particularly like is Pink Cadillac. So you've had your warning. That's a song ding-a-dong-dong. It's donged, it's ding-dong. And if you're still around, well, dip your bread. Here we go. Well, now you may think I'm a foolish, full of foolish things I do. You may wonder how I come to love you when you get on my nerves like you do. Well, baby, you know you bug me. There ain't no secret about that. Well, come on over here and hug me. Baby, I'll spill the facts. Well, honey, it ain't your money. 'Cause, baby, I got plenty of that. I love you for your pink Cadillac, crushed velvet seats, riding in the back, oozing down the street, waving to the girls, feeling out of sight, spending all my money on a Saturday night. Honey, I just wonder what you do there in the back of your pink Cadillac, your pink Cadillac. Well, now, way back in the Bible, temptations always come along. There's always somebody tempting somebody into doing something they know is wrong. Well, they may tempt you with silver. They may tempt you with gold, and they tempt you with the pleasure that the flesh does surely hold. They say Eve got tempted with an apple, but man, I ain't a-going for that. I know it was the pink Cadillac, crushed velvet street, riding in the back and oozing down the street, waving to the girls, feeling out of sight, spending all the money on a Saturday night. Honey, I just wonder what it feels like in the back of your pink Cadillac, pink Cadillac. Now, some folks say it's too big, say it uses too much gas. Some folks say it's old, it goes too fast, but my love is bigger than a Honda. Yeah, it's bigger than a Subaru. Hey man, there's only one thing and one car that I think will do. Anyway, we don't have to drive it. We can park it out the back and have a party in your pink Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats, riding in the back, oozing down the street, spending all the money on Saturday night. Honey, I just wonder what you do there in the back of your pink Cadillac. There you go. Pink Cadillac. Tales from the Jails, folks.